This is my presentation for Comms 1020 for my persuasive essay. Let's begin. It's titled The American Nightmare. In 2022, 14-year-old Davine Lee woke up in Harrow, northeast of London, and attended school like any other day. Upon arriving at school, she noticed that her best friend Molly Russell's seat was empty. And before class started, she checked her phone for clues as to why she was absent. On Instagram, Davine found that Molly had left a note saying, "I'm just not good enough." She was confused and worried and wondered why she just wrote that. Later that day, Davine was pulled out of class to the worst news one can hear. Molly's body was found in her bedroom that morning, and she had killed herself. The UK news site Sky News launched an investigation into her death, and unbeknownst to her friends and family, Molly was living a double life. Underneath the positive, happy, bright young lady, as described by her father, Molly had been viewing online posts related to self-harm, depression, and suicide for the past 6 months. And for these past 6 months, she had viewed around 12 posts per day related to self-harm. Overall, she had viewed about 2,100 posts related to some kind of self-harm. Molly had been sucked into the vortex, and as her father put it, once you fall into it, the algorithm means you can't escape it, and it keeps recommending more. A few investigations were launched to determine her thought process, and Meta, the company that owns Facebook and Instagram, found that Molly had watched 138 videos that contained suicide and self-harm content, sometimes binging them in batches. They also found that she had been able to filter depression-related posts for her interest. So how could this happen? How could a 14-year-old be exposed to so much romanticized self-harm that she ended her life? And who is to blame? One possible solution is that the American government should regulate the youth's consumption of social media and thereby curbing mental health issues associated with social media and promoting less artificial means of entertainment and news coverage and lifestyle. To demonstrate this claim, one must consider the effects of social media at a society at large, its effects on the youth of today, and the best methods of social media regulation. And humanity has been developing near-instant communication technology for the past 150 years. Humanity has been developing near-instant communication technology for the past 150 years, with the first basic iPhone invented in 1849. By 1910, there were an estimated 5.8 million phone users, and while lengthy communications have been a part of our world for a while now, vast amounts of knowledge were made accessible with the creation of the internet. The internet only continued to grow in the 90s with social media sites like 6degrees.com and Friendster. And soon after, MySpace and Facebook hit the world and exploded in popularity. Facebook remains to be the largest social media platform to this day with an astounding 2.96 billion monthly active users. All this activity and growth has led to social media having a significant role and an immense impact on all of our lives. And from an individual standpoint, social media is now used as a form of entertainment and relaxation. According to a study done by Daniel Ruby, a content writer with 10 years of experience, 90% of Americans use social media actively. Of this activity, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram are the most downloaded apps of modern-day Americans. And the average American will spend close to 3 hours on some form of social media daily. And these apps have engineered near infinite scrolling and are designed to keep your mind occupied for hours on end. And the structure keeps you fed with short, scattered, dopamine-filled videos that prey on short attention spans. A study done by Microsoft Corporation in 2015 found that the users of the iPhone have seen dramatic decreases in their attention span, a drop from 12 seconds to 8 seconds since the year 2000. This now means that we have a shorter attention span than a goldfish, which is cool. There's been a rise in ADHD, depression, and anxiety among the users of social media. And while I'll address the links between social media and the youth of today later, the adults of this day and age are still being affected daily. And many use social media to show off the positive aspects of their lives, and many distort their life's image to seem better off than they actually are. This has led to societal rises in body objectification, fear of missing out, perfectionism, impulsive decisions, depression, and anxiety. There are clear habits that lead to these societal rises, and those come in form of cultural norms. And what is a cultural norm? Well, in recent years, it has been early exposure to handheld technology, and this has led many kids to be reliant on it. A study at Stanford University reports the average American teenager who uses a smartphone receives his or her first smartphone at age 10 and spends over 4.5 hours a day on it. 78% of teens check their phones at least hourly, and 50% report feeling addicted to their phones. And unfortunately, these teens are just victims of the system that targets them. So most agree that social media is bad for the youth, but not everyone agrees that the government should be involved. Many see this as a parenting issue, and that allowing the government to regulate this will strip us of some freedom. However, there are people that stand with my argument. On April 26, the U.S. Senators Brian Schultz, Tom Cotton, Chris Murphy, and Kate Boyd Britt put together a bill called the Protecting Kids on Social Media Act that aims to eliminate kids 13 and younger from accessing social media. Considering both sides of this argument, I believe that there should be government regulation coupled with parental surveillance. Throughout this essay, we've explored what social media does to society and how large of a role it plays in our lives and our reliance on it. We also have explored how the youth of today are being negatively affected and are subject to digital addiction. And what about Molly Russell? Who takes the blame for her death? And there should have been better systems in place so that she wasn't viewing suicidal material, and the government should regulate social media's usage, eliminate children from being online. Thank you.